Welcome to the Cosplay Cafe. I am one of your baristas, Andrea. Tonight, you're probably stuck with just me in the hosting seat. Kelly and Crayley are at Silicon. Hunter can't be here, and during this time of year, Aubrey is pretty busy. But I'm going to play one more little video when I can get myself to it here. Sorry, everybody. It's been a long day. I'm going to play you a little ad real quick, and then I will be back with my guest.
I've been a superhero for a long time. It used to be so simple. You catch the bad guys, do the right thing, save the world. Then I met Aiden, and things got complicated.
Iris recruited me as a kid and turned me into their own personal weapon. I couldn't see any way out until I met Marty. But now we're going to burn their entire organization down if we can.
Forces of Nature, Books 1 and 2, Scorcher and Thin Ice are available now wherever books are sold online. See www.kellyguentner.com.
Pokeballs by Crayley is your one-stop shop for handmade magical creations that celebrate all the Pokemon universe has to offer. Available on CrayleyVanest.com, that's CRAYLEVANEST.com, and possibly coming to a con near you.
All right, everybody. My guest is one of my biggest favorite, amazing con family members. I adore this human with all my heart and soul. She also got to do a little happy dance during that Scorcher promo because the little in it happens to be her tiny little amazing cosplayer as well. So let's just go ahead and get Lauren in here.
Hello. Yeah, I didn't realize that was going to be playing, and it started, and I was like, wait, my daughter's in this. My daughter. So I was backstage like, yeah.
I saw you do your happy dance down in the thumbnail, and I was like, yep, that's every time I watch that, I'm like, I know every single person in that video and the voiceover too. So.
My husband's in it for like a split second too. You have to know, though. You have to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, we got Joey the roadie saying what's up.
And there he is.
Y'all don't know that's the husband. That's the husband. So tonight, like 2 weeks ago, we had your partner in crime DL on talking about, the kind of the psychology of cosplay, what goes on mentally and emotionally and all that with it. And today you're going to talk about the parasocial side with us. So we're doing some deep dives instead of just talking about the putting on the costume, being cute, being pretty, being scary. We're talking about what goes on with the other people on the other side of the costuming.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So if people are unaware, I am a cosplayer here in Memphis. I do a lot of conventions. I just emceed a cosplay competition this last weekend. So I do a lot of emceeing, a lot of judging, hosting events, stuff like that, crowd work things. I'm also a TikToker. Woohoo. So I have a bit of a TikTok following. And so it's really interesting to have followers online and then meet them later. And I never know when it's the weirdest thing. So for here's a fun example. We went down to Texas Frightmare this last time around, and every single day we were down there, somebody came up to me and they're like, I know you. I follow you. And they were so excited. And I was expecting maybe just like a little bit at the convention itself, but it was also in weird places. Like at some point we wanted to take our daughter to something a little more like fun. So we went to Meow Wolf, and in the middle of trying to figure out one of the puzzles of Meow Wolf, which by the way, if you've not been, amazingly fun. It's this giant place with these puzzles and things turn into entrances to other rooms. So you open the refrigerator and it's a tunnel and you have to go and follow. It's very fun. However,
stuff happening.
Yes. Highly recommend just maybe not that location. The AC was out and I was miserable the entire time. It was so crowded and it was so hot. And I actually ended up I know I'm completely off topic here. I actually ended up like in tears telling them like we drove all the way up here from Memphis so we could like come do this thing, and this is like one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Like the museum is great, and they ended up being very nice about it, and they're like, we're not supposed to do this, so wink wink, but we're gonna refund you just because this is the nicest complaint we've ever gotten from anyone. Which is a trending thing with me. Same thing happened at Disney World. So I'm a nice complainer.
If you need to get your money back, just get Lauren. Just get Lauren to go get your money back for you.
I come up and I try and be so nice, and then I get like I freak out and get hyper emotional, and then I start crying. And then they feel really bad, and I'm like, I'm sorry. It's just the feelings. Anyway, we were in the middle of Meow Wolf trying to figure out like the piano puzzle, and someone was like, I know you're on TikTok. You do those reviews with the clothes. And I'm like, oh, yes. We were driving on the way home and we stopped at a trucker stop so Goose could use the bathroom. And someone in the bathroom, while I'm like, okay, wash your hands. And they're like, I know that voice. They're in a stall. They don't even see me. They just knew my voice. And then they pop out and they're like, I know you. It's very interesting. When
you're definitely expecting people at a convention to know who you are. You're expecting that.
A little, but I don't want to go in and like expecting it. Like,
but you think, okay, if somebody's gonna know you somewhere, it's a con.
Yeah. If someone can recognize me somewhere, like I make enough weird, random, nerdy content to where it's probably gonna be at a convention. It throws me off so much when it's outside of the and it never happens here in Memphis. Like every once in a blue moon at the store or something, someone I follow you on TikTok. It's always when I'm out of I feel like the people from Memphis know I'm from Memphis, so they know it's like not so much of a candid event. They're just like, look over there, and they don't approach me as much. But when I'm out of town, it's quite a bit, and people get really, really excited. They want a picture with me. They've asked for my daughter's signature before, her autograph. They recognize her. They recognize Joey. It's really fun. And everyone so far that we've met live, like face to face, has been absolutely nice. Wonderfully sweet people. They tell me, like, they will come up to me and tell me stories and be like, my child just, or trigger warning here for anyone who's not good with that stuff. I will get people walking up to me and saying that their child had passed and my videos were something that helped them get through it. And I'm just like, I don't know how to respond to that.
I just make nerdy videos.
I try on clothes and I'm a nerd. Yeah.
You never realize what might actually soothe or help people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we don't realize as cosplayers, because we are so nerdy and feel like sometimes we're in this niche group that a lot of other people recognize that and connect with it, and they kind of have that empathetic link with it. So even though they don't know you, just seeing you doing things that they also like can kind of help relax them sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I get it as well. Okay, here, I'm going to tell on myself here for a minute. When you asked me to come be on the show again, and I was like, I would love to discuss this specific topic, and I'm going to ask this cosplayer that I've never met in my life, but I follow online to see if they want to come do this with me. They never responded because, like, once again, Parasocial Relationship. I don't know them. I've just seen that they have made content about this specific topic before. And so I was just like, just throwing this out to the wind. If you'd like to be on a podcast, we're discussing this and I would love to have you on along with us.
Right.
But it's funny because, like, even as someone who's kind of in the middle of it, a little bit, I still do it.
Yeah. And I think it's like we were talking about before we even started, the whole imposter syndrome. You're like, I'm nobody, but that person over there, they could literally have fewer followers than you, less engagement, but you're like, I'm nobody. They have all these people that like them. And then you realize, oh, wait, we're both probably thinking we're nobody, but other people like us.
I get, I don't want to say yelled at. People get on to me about that because I downplay, I guess I downplay kind of what I do because I
Yeah.
feel so weird coming up to people and being like, hi, I'm an influencer. Like, I feel
got
so
such a
weird
negative
doing that.
connotation.
Sorry, what?
The whole influencer idea now has such a negative connotation to it.
Yes.
And you don't want to be lumped into that because you're literally, I mean, geeky is in your screen name. It's you do the geeky, nerdy things. You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm Miss Pretty who wants her stuff comped to give it to me now. You're not one of those. You're like, I just want to make fun content. If people like it, great. If nobody watches it, that's fine too. Who cares?
So my main thing with the content, I want to normalize seeing people like me out there. Yes. And this is going to probably go a little heavy, but when you see someone who is, and it's really funny that I'm cosplaying the character I'm cosplaying today because it's one of my biggest like griefs. When you see someone who is plus size, who is quirky, who dresses fun and all of that, there's only a certain amount of set characters that come to mind because it's not very represented out in the media. And so I get like at least a couple times, if a video blows up, I will get at least a couple of times, oh my God, off-brand Penelope Garcia. Oh my gosh, it's Penelope. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I love that you associate me with that character because that's a great character. I love the character. I love the actress. Great. She has a great TikTok, by the way, if you follow her. But at the same time, I want to see more quirky people out there, like actual real people, not just these characters. And so that's one of the reasons that I started. I do a lot of reviews. I specifically do reviews on like hair stuff, makeup, plus size clothes, and shoes. And each of those for very particular reasons. I'm a little brutally honest with my reviews, and it's because I'm so sick and tired of someone blowing how cursey can I get?
PG-13?
Blowing smoke up my ass. I can
there
say
you
that
go.
one.
We try to refrain from the F-bomb. That's about it.
No, fair. I'm so tired of getting these. This is the best thing ever. This will cure every ailment you've ever had. I want to come on and I want to do real reviews. As someone who is 5 foot tall, who is plus size, who thinks outside, like I don't like wearing cotton because it is itchy. I don't know if I'm allergic to it or if it's just like something with it. And so I bring these things to my videos because I want to be honest and I want people to be able to relate with it. And I don't make as much money because of it. I could if I started lying about everything and saying everything is, magical fairy fun. But I would rather be more realistic and give a bad review every once in a while. Brands don't want to work with you as much when you do that. Just throwing that out there.
But you don't want to compromise yourself either. You don't want to. You don't want to. You hold yourself to a standard.
I do, and other people want not, and that's Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying I hold myself to a personal standard. I don't hold other people to that standard. Yes. If you want to go online and make an ad, get that money. I've made ads before when I was first starting out trying to figure out what I wanted to do online, and I definitely took some paid ads trying to figure out, do I like this or not? I decided I didn't, but like get that money.
I look at the people that are like, the girls that do their OnlyFans. I'm like, girl, go for it. If that's what you want to do with yourself, more power to you for owning that and embracing yourself.
Absolutely.
I would never see myself doing that. Even, 20 years ago when I first started this and was, the little baby in it and not sure what I was going to do with it. But if that is a decision you have made without being pressured into it, I'm fine with you doing whatever if that's where your standards lie. But also being honest, I love these, like I'll watch your videos and I'll watch other people, they'll do this makeup review. They're like, everybody says this is the greatest thing ever. And they're putting it on, they're like, what's wrong with everyone else? They're like, this is not, they're like, excuse me. I like that. I like honesty because I don't want to put my money into something that somebody is. I work for a living. I don't get people to send me free things that I get to go, yeah, this is great. Give me more money.
Yeah.
I have to work to pay my bills.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. And like I said, I could be making more money. I think that's one of the reasons that people kind of relate with me as much as that I'm not like put on the mask and okay, let me fix that. I do a little bit like you may not know it right now because I'm on a podcast and I know I need to be putting on the face and guesting and being entertaining. I feel like absolute hell. I have been going through it these last few days, like really hard. So I do kind of put on that, like, I'm entertaining people right now mask.
Right.
But I try to also just keep it very realistic with what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Like that as an example, I'm okay with telling you, like, yeah, I'm entertaining you, but also I feel like butt.
Yeah. No. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have put on a costume to be a guest at a con or been at a volunteer event. I've got like kids around me and I'm over here going, I'm tired. I've had 3 hours of sleep. I have to look like the Disney princess. And you put on that act and then you go home, you take off the costume and you just go,
I didn't know you could do the Disney princess voice. I'm sorry, you just broke me. You're like, and I have to do the Disney princess. And I was like, huh, yeah. Talent, hidden talent.
There's a secret theater background in me. I did mostly the costuming, but I did a little theater when I was younger. So.
That's amazing.
Do you do
anyone
else?
The Southern accent. I'm just throwing this out there. Do you do anyone else?
You don't want to hear me attempt the British accent for Peggy Carter. It's not good. It's like a Southerner with a British accent. So we just don't do it.
You know what? Okay, hang on. Complete subject switch. I know we're like not even on topic at all, but I just need to tell you
here.
So taking the British accent and doing the Southern instead is like the best thing in the world when you're doing Shakespeare. Can I give you like a short little monologue? Oh
yes, no, because the accents they have very similar like tones and things.
They do. Well, it's really funny because like you can get into it and you can be like, to be or not to be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler of the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing and like it's really fun.
Okay, the fact that you just literally quoted Shakespeare makes you even more one of my favorite people because I love Shakespeare so much. You did that right off the cuff, and that makes me so happy.
I know.
We used to say that we wanted to get all of our friends together and just reenact Shakespearean plays just for the fun of it. And
as cosplay characters. Hang on. Wait. Have like Deadpool up in there holding the skull or something.
He's got Wolverine's head in his hand. Yes! Okay. I mean, come on. There's enough drama in comics to do Shakespeare as comic characters.
Oh, yes. Oh, and it's like when they do the conventions and they have the voice actors come in, but they're reading like, it's Bubbles, the Powerpuff Girl, reading as Darth Vader. They read the script, but as their characters. It's kind of in that same thought bubble, but separate. That would be a very fun video to film.
But I had just like thinking of voice actor moments this past weekend when I was dressed as Captain Carter. I didn't realize who it was because you don't think of faces to voice actors, you think of voices.
Yeah.
And somebody came up to me and said, I saw the Union Jack shield. Bucky approves. It was the Marvel Rivals voice for the Winter Soldier. And he goes, I'm not speaking for Bucky, but I'm speaking for Bucky. And I'm just like, and then I kind of looked at him like, you're kind of hot too, dude. I'm like, did I take care of you? I'm like, like, was Bucky flirting with me, or was I just reading too much into that? But it was just funny because you don't associate faces with voice actors, and so that's another one of those things. We know them that can go back into the parasocial. We know who they are, but we don't know them, and like so many people form that opinion of what that person is based on their online personality or what they know of them through acting, or like the ones that go up to these people that play the villains and treat them like dirt. I'm like, you do realize they're playing a character, right?
Yeah, that's a real person. There's a lot with that, and it's a lot of people don't realize that, like, yes, they're voice actors, and they're trained in acting. They're probably pretty good with improv and all of that. But coming up to someone completely in character, not in a fun way, but like in a to mess with them way, or like to trivia them way. Like, do you remember this one episode of the, like, that's a little cruddy. Like, I get it. You think this person should know everything about that character because they voiced it or acted it or whatever, but that's not always the case. Like,
they also are like pieces are spliced together, so they're not even always in every bit of it. And also, I think it tracks to, unfortunately, with a lot of people that are in the con scene, that social awkwardness of a lot of people that attend cons, that it doesn't register to them that they're being in that weird kind of uncomfortable phase towards the guests, the cosplayers. I mean, I've talked about how many people have come up and said weird things to me in costume, like I am the character, and I'm just like, I like this character, but hold on, I got to think about this moment.
We can't all be Jowers and just immediately jump into the character. I wish I could, because he is amazing.
How good he is. My sister-in-law had never met him outside of being the Joker. And last Sunday, he came up to my brother's booth because they were both selling at the same con, and just started talking. And I was talking about him, and she's like, because he asked if my brother was okay because he could only do Sunday of the con because last week it was our nephew's wedding. I was like, oh, we're at a wedding. We'll be there tomorrow. So he came up, just talked to him, asked him how things were going. And she was like, yeah, he came over and talked to us earlier. I'm like, yeah, that's my buddy Jowers. And she's like, who? I was like, the Joker that's always at cons. She's like, that's the same guy?
I'm like, I had the same reaction the first time I saw him at a cosplay, just to be fair.
When he plays the Joker, he is, for lack of a better word, an asshole.
He plays it well. He does it very well.
Actually know Chris Jowers, who we have had on the show a couple of times before, he is actually one of the sweetest human beings on the face of the planet.
And you know what?
Sorry, it's the acting. No, it's the acting. So he is very good at that. But so a lot of people only know him from that side. So it's another part of this whole parasocial. They know that side. They've seen the Joker from him. They don't realize what a kind soul is under that costume.
Oh, he saved my butt at this last convention. I had, as I was reviewing clothes, I got a gray dress in and like a gray wizardy kind of witch hat that matched the dress, and I was like, oh, these are really cute. And then I put it on my husband, and I was making a joke about my husband being Gandalf, and then I was like, wait a second, I need to be sexy Gandalf now. At this I have a week until this next convention, and I am now building the sexy Gandalf the Slay cosplay.
Loved the name.
So I was putting it together, and I was finding all of the, I got to have this specific belt because I wanted it as screen accurate as possible while wearing fishnets and being sexy Gandalf. I don't know.
I think Ian McKellen would have absolutely loved that, knowing what I know about Ian McKellen.
I think he would do it. I think he would go put on his Gandalf robe with some fishnet and heels. Yes. But anyway, I couldn't find a staff to save my dang life. I wanted something that looked official because I was trying to go like as screen accurate as possible while being sexy Gandalf. And he swung in at the absolute, like, he was like, no, I've got you. And he built it to my height. He customized this staff for me. And then he drove his butt all the way to meet us because we couldn't find a meeting time because we were in the middle of like having to meet with some friends at their kid's birthday party. Met us at the restaurant in the parking lot. And we had to do the deal in the parking lot of the restaurant in Memphis. That was fun. And my daughter goes up to him and she's like, I like your normal people costume because she knows that that's the Joker. That's not the person. He's in his normal costume.
Showers is the cosplay.
Yes. He saved our butt with that staff. And I was so excited to be able to have the final piece. Like, an amazing person, an amazing
We basically just gave him a whole bunch of free advertisement for his Stormfall staffs that he makes. So, if you need a walking stick, a hiking stick, a staff, Chris Showers has got you.
Custom-made, like, beautiful work, stained and all.
The wood is from his property. He goes on hikes and brings that wood home. So, if you ever need a staff, we got you. We know who to get you hooked up with.
Look them up. Yeah. I told him, I was like, I'm going to give you so many shout outs, dude. So let's see. Where were we? We have a topic.
We have a topic. But when Kelly's not here, there's not even train tracks, because we always say the train gets off the tracks when Kelly's not here. When she's not here, there's not even tracks. The train is running through the desert somehow on its own, and it's fine. We've mentioned the parasocial things.
Yeah. I have more I can say about it because I've gotten to
go for it.
Meeting people in public and all of that. That has been the greatest so far. I've not had one bad experience. Everyone has been amazingly nice and just
very
so
lucky.
Excited. Yes.
Almost every personality, no matter how many amazing reviews of, oh, I met them, they were great, they were so friendly. You always have that one person who's like, oh no, actually they're a jerk. And you're like,
honestly,
bad days.
I hope someone does that to me someday, because when I'm at a convention, how often am I sitting still, or am I running around and I'm hosting this and judging that, and next a panel, and so if I don't have
basically
the time,
us telling you to sit down.
Or hey, or eat something. Hey, so one day I'm probably going to get one of those, she was such a horrible person, and I'm going to be like, hi, do you know how busy I was that day? I had one person this last convention. So the idea with the cosplay competition was everyone who was doing it just to show off their cosplay, not to compete, just to walk, we kept their form, so we would have it with us. Everyone else who was coming in for prejudging later kept their form, and when they came to prejudging, turned it into us, so we didn't have to look through the stack to find them, and it was just faster.
I always try to tell them that, and people still go, can you just hold it? I'm like, you see my booth?
Yeah. Well, luckily I didn't bring anything to this convention because last year the cosplay sheet and the karaoke cosplay sheet ended up on my table. So I was like, okay, well, they're going to need a place to put that, and I'll run it. That's fine. So we get into the cosplay judging, and there is one person goes in, we do that, I go back out to the next person, I'm like, okay, hi, we're ready for you, where's your form? And they went, you have it. And I went, no, we don't. And they went, yeah, I left it with the other ones. And I went, those are all the way downstairs in my booth.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. So I was like, just wait, I'm going to get them in here and let the other judges judge this person. And my asthmatic butt ran from that room, across the thing, down the elevator, back to my little area, pulled out every single form we had gotten, ran back upstairs, back into the room, and I got them in there. And as I was in the middle of doing this emergency, oh my gosh, we need the form now, somebody stopped me and they're like, oh my gosh, I know you. Can I have a photo with you? in the middle of this. And this happened twice. It was right then at that point, and they wanted a photo with me. And I was like, I am so sorry. I'm in the middle of an emergency. Please get with me later. And they did. They came back later, I think, and got a photo.
Most people usually understand.
Yes. She was very nice. The second time, I don't think they knew me from online, but I was in Gandalf the sleigh. Like I was sexy Gandalf, and people wanted photos with me. The second time, I'm running in full beard and hair and like a cloak, and it was hot. But the second time, my daughter's finger got slammed in a door in the back, and her finger started turning like purple here and swelling.
No, poor goose.
And there was no one inside who had ice. So I had to run outside, and I was running up to all of the different food trucks, be like, do you have ice? Do you have ice? And in the middle of that, someone was like, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, my daughter's hand was slammed in a door. And they're like, no, go.
Yeah.
So she came back up later and got the picture later. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But like in those moments, I try to be as nice as I can, but I'm sure someday someone's going to call me a big old B word and say I was the worst person they ever met. But I'm really busy at cons, y'all.
Yeah. We're talking about like, we've talked about all the positive experiences, but I have one of our mutual friends, I'll name because the name of who said this hasn't been put out, but V, our lovely, amazing, gorgeous human of a friend, has recently, they've done a couple of guest spots at cons with me lately. This is their first year doing them. They've been cosplaying for 15 plus years.
They're amazing.
Well, they've had someone recently tell them they don't deserve to be a cosplay guest.
I saw that, and I wanted to be like, give me the name.
I will give you the name off air, because I do know who it is, because V texted me. And this is a petty person. I'm like, that's all it boils down to. You're mad that because V has the talent for the wigs, the makeup, they might not make their costumes, but they know how to put it all together. The wigs and makeup alone, to me, give V all of the credit they deserve.
That's an entire category. Wig and makeup is an entire damn category of cosplay.
I'm good at that. I am not good at that. I'm like, hey, dude, you want to help me? I need your help. I'll make you a costume if you make me the wig. We share talent.
They've beat me out in that category before, and good for them.
And so for someone to be so petty that they don't think this person deserves this, I'm like, first off, you don't know what criteria every con uses. Okay, granted, a lot of the cons that I'm at, they're like, hey, can you get me some cosplay guests? I'm like, I got your back. Austin is always like, who can you get me? And I'm like, Austin, I will get you who I can. That's how Mirror Bright now does it, because I wanted to be there for their first con, but I couldn't. But Robin said they were having a great time. Daniel is going to live in his moment and have a great time. He is the happiest human, and I love it. And their daughter is adorable. We love them. I'm trying to get them back on sometime, because it's been a while since we've had them on the show. But they were invited because of what they do. They make their armor, their props. Daniel says he bought Christy a sewing machine. He uses it the most. He's learning, but not every guest has to make every single thing. It's not a popularity contest all the time, because let's face it, I don't have that big of a following, especially not what everybody thinks I have. I don't. I really don't have that following, but I have put in the miles to do what I do. And so, I'm sure I'm sure every one of us has looked at somebody and go, why are they a guest? But then you have to take a step back and go, whoa, I don't know. It's you don't know that person personally. You don't know what they've done to get where they're at. But for somebody to straight up tell someone you don't deserve it is absolutely disgusting.
Especially, okay, and there is a very big difference between these gigantic conventions like Dragon Con, and I have put in a submission to be a guest at Dragon Con and been turned down, and my reaction is like, fair, no, absolutely, I was throwing something out there just to see if you would bite.
If they bite, you're like, sweet, we're going to
yes.
Dragon Con.
I've never been. That would be great. But there are conventions that are local conventions where people can start building up the criteria, going to their first cosplay competition. Do you want to go to your first cosplay competition ever at a big, gigantic Dragon Con cosplay competition and competing with people on that level? Like, there are different...
quite that big, but it was pretty big.
Yeah, there are different levels of
not everybody's as
conventions.
sadistic as me. Not everybody wants to put themselves through that like I do.
You like it.
I do. It's kind of gratifying when you come out with an award at some of those big cons, though. You're like, oh dang.
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm just saying, there has to be a place for people to start doing panels, guesting, just trying to compete and seeing where they land in the land of competition. There has to be a place for that. And to tell someone they don't deserve that spot is terrible, because where is someone going to finally deserve it? When you have 100,000 followers on social media, when you have 200, like, where's your spot of, oh, you finally deserve it now?
And what do we use to gauge deserving? What makes them deserving? Because each person has their own skill, the things that they're good at, the things that make them stand out. The thing is, I'm such a huge introvert, but when I get to a con, I am polar opposite. I am like, let's talk this. I want to show you how to make these things. I want to help. If you've got questions, come talk to me. But then also from I have heard that there are people in the area that apparently look up to me, but don't talk to me because they're worried. I've done this for so long that I'm not going to want to talk to them. I'm like, please come talk to me. Because my anxiety says, oh, maybe you're not as good at this as you think you are. You have those own doubts. So we don't need anyone else putting more doubts in our heads. We don't.
Like, you always have that villain inside of your own head.
And it's always you. It's always you. No one else, unless it's these little just petty, low down, just miserable people is what I feel. They're miserable.
I can't help but feel jealous. I feel like they are jealous of something.
Yes. That's what my friend Kay always would tell me when people, I'd be like, well, I was really nice to them. Why were they mean to me? And Kay goes, they're jealous. I'm like, of what? And they're like, of you?
It's weird. The entire, and doing anything in public is going to have those weird instances. And something about a community brings out kind of the worst in people. And you can get this with any community. Theater is a great one to bring to. Everyone knows the people who are a little too mean in the theater scene. But it literally can be any community. And you're going to get the best of people, and you're going to get the worst of people. It doesn't really even matter what the community is. There's going to be both polar opposite sides.
Especially when it's an art, because art is subjective.
Yeah, exactly. It's an opinion-based thing.
Because what makes us say that cosplayer is better than that cosplayer? And I hate that comparison because everybody's on their own path. And a lot of the bigger cosplayers will tell you that. They're like, don't compare yourself. Stop trying to be what all of these people. Don't let social media tell you have to have this many followers. You have to be this good by this point. Because some people have the help. Some have the money. Some of us just have to go with the flow and do what we can when we can. And that's where I'm at even 23 years in. That's still where I'm at.
What can I can? This convention is where I'm at. When it comes to someone telling someone specifically, for example, that we were talking about V for a second ago, that they're not deserving or something like that. As you were saying, there are so many different levels of cosplay. And here's something I would like to actually just kind of put out there to maybe aid in this. I really feel like cosplay competition should have more categories. I don't feel like it should be an armor build versus sewing. I feel like those should be separate categories. I feel like fursuits should be their own dang category because
the level that goes into those, good
the
God.
level that goes into that, what specifically talking about V, their body paint and the way that they like perfect that body paint and the makeup and the wigs. I feel like body paint should be its own category. I feel
like their skin. It looks like that's the color they are. It's wild.
It's amazing the way that they do that. But I feel like if we started expanding these categories so outside people who are coming in for the first time ever can see like, oh, these are different crafts. Like it takes different stuff to do this. I feel like that might help in having people kind of understand it, especially when it comes to competitions. So I'm throwing that out there. We need more categories in cosplay competition.
That's one of my things that I like to do, you know, and unfortunately I have to work with whatever I'm given by a con. I do try to have categories for, you know, wig and makeup, props and armor. And I would love to be able to go, here is our, you know, sewing best in show and our crafting best in show. But it's also whatever I'm given, whatever they're like, here's the trophies. This is what we want you to do. And I do at least like the skill division, the novice, journeyman, master.
Oh yes.
Because I hate first, second, and third place adult, because you're trying to you've got novices that have never entered before with people that have won tons of awards. That's not fair to pit them against each other. And I'm watching because, you know, I do so many cons in this area. I'm starting to see people entering the same costume over and over and over. I'm fine with you competing at a small contest, winning, moving on to a bigger one with it. But when they're taking it to nothing but these smaller cons with either little to no changes made, I'm kind of like, okay, at this point, you know my face. I know your face. How many more awards do you think I'm giving you?
So I'm not going to name the convention because I don't want to give anything out there, but we came across this at one of the conventions that I was guest judging at, and someone came in. It was a very good cosplay. It was very well put together, but I know I had judged them before, and they had won one of the very larger awards. I believe you were actually at that convention that they won that award.
Very likely, considering I have judged a lot together.
Yes. And later, you were not at this convention, but they came in to compete again. And another judge said, I've judged them before at a different convention that I wasn't at, and they had already won another large award at, and they had not changed anything about this cosplay, and they did not place at that convention for that reason. When you level up, when you move up to the bigger conventions, like I have an Oogie Boogie cosplay. I have competed with it once ever, and I won, I think, Best Masters with that.
Yes, that was at Haywood.
You were my judge. Yes.
I'm wondering, did we have pictures? So I can like show pictures while you talk.
Yeah, let's show some pictures. I'll go over and talk about them for a second, and then I do want to jump back into the parasocial stuff because I do have more to say on it.
Where'd my stuff go? You're in here somewhere.
Where'd my stuff go?
There it is. Do I have your Oogie Boogie? Yeah, that's actually
You probably do. Yeah. There's the Oogie Boogie. You should also have a close-up of a makeup I've done with Oogie. I do it different a little bit every time.
Is it this one?
That one is one of the Oogie Boogie makeups. So I've sent in a couple full cosplays. So if you go back to the picture of the actual dress, that is all hand sewn because my sewing machine and burlap is not friends. So that cosplay, the reason I won Best Master is because that is all literally hand sewn together.
It was worth it, even though you had never really placed in a con, which that's the thing though, I don't be anybody.
Yeah, I don't compete a lot.
But you literally, guys, I've seen this up close and personal. I've flipped the seams. I've practically been in Lauren's corset. We're that comfortable with each other.
Yes.
Okay. But it was worth that win. And you could take this, even though you won a master, it was a very small con.
Mm-hmm.
You could take this to another one, to me, that was a little bigger, and work your way up. But when you hover in the same size cons, or you take a win from a really big one and then go down to these little cons and start racking up all their trophies, that to me that's sandbagging. That's just give those little guys that are starting out, like you said, it gives them that platform to try their first contest. Give them that chance. Let them win.
No,
Let them feel
that's
good
fair.
about what they've done. But that's how I see it. But
do we want to run through the? No, I agree with you. I think if you're going to showcase to try out, like test run, go to a small convention, see how you place there, move up from there. Don't win first place at Dragon Con and then go to the smaller conventions around your area. Or if you're going to do smaller conventions, don't stay all in one. Like go to Florida, then go to Tennessee, then go to move around.
People in this
we recognize
Tennessee,
you.
Arkansas, like the Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, like this corner we're in. I've seen some of the same costumes so many times, especially with how many cons I did last year.
Which is fair if they want to wear it. Like, yes, they're
wear
expensive. Wear it, but
don't compete every time.
Let some newbies compete every once in a while. That's why I've only competed with this one once ever.
Yeah.
So
let's see. We'll keep going.
So this is my penguin. This is 100% closet cosplay, and I don't even care. It is one of my favorite ones to do. It is a fun one.
Yeah, it's still cosplay. Like that's what people have to understand. And not everything has to be a competition costume.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that literally they're like, I'm competing. This is my first competition. This is my first costume. I'm like, did you want to compete? They're like, well, I feel like that's what I'm like. If you don't want to compete, don't step foot in a competition. You don't have to. There's some of us that love it. There's some of us that love it, and some of us that just want to wear a costume on a convention floor. Yeah. And that is valid.
Walking down and have people saying, can I have your photo? Like, that's good enough.
That's what we talked about 2 weeks ago. I was like, if a cosplayer tells you, oh, I don't care if people take my photo, they're lying. We want people to take our pictures.
Please take my picture.
Feed the ego. Please, for the love of God, feed the ego.
All right, so this is my Beetlejuice. This one I actually got, I think this was the cover of Huff Photo magazine for March.
Yeah. It was green. He looked over at me. He goes, that's my cover. Like I was literally next to him when he took that picture. He leaned over from his booth to mine and goes, that's the March cover. Look at all that green. That's the March cover.
I wish I had a close-up of this makeup because this one was such a fun one. So when I do my Beetlejuice makeup, I do the top lip is green, the bottom lip is black, and I add stripes on the bottom lip. I do, okay, this is going to sound weird, ridiculous. I do a winged eyeliner on both sides. On one side, it is a green sparkle winged eyeliner. On the other side, it is black, and then I add in white stripes. Yeah. So I have a striped eyeliner, and then I do the opposite eyebrow. So I have the sparkle brow here, and then a black and white striped eyebrow on the other side. It is such a fun makeup to do.
This one was at Jackson Comic Expo. Didn't you film you doing the makeup at y'all's table?
I think I did, but like... It was my first time doing a fast forward filmed where it was like in fast motion, and people kept coming up and talking to me, and I kept getting distracted, and like my hand was in front of my face half the time. So not a great video. That was an experiment.
But I do remember you putting this makeup on as a guest at the con, so people actually got to watch the cosplay process basically as they walked up to your table.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like to do. I've done it a few times. I've done it with this. When I first introduced my Medusa and competed with that, I did my makeup at a table at the convention. I did my makeup both days at this last convention at the table. People just like to come up and see like, oh, it's just a base, and then come up later and be like, why do you have space on your eyes? Like, it gets people intrigued, and they like to come up and, hey, what are you doing? What are you using? And they talk to you about it. And
I feel like you and V together could probably do like an amazing makeup panel. I really
I
thank
would
you guys.
love to do a makeup panel with V. That would be so fun.
I thank you guys. We have this comment that just came up from Allison Rushing. It says, commenting on what you said a minute ago, closet cosplay is very creative. It might not be craftsmanship, but it's a fashion styling and it can be
Yes.
done very well. And
Yes.
that I 1,000,000% agree with.
Yes.
Because to pull pieces together that make you see that character, that you literally just suddenly this shirt, this skirt, and you're that character. It takes an eye. Just
It
like
does.
sewing takes it's a different type of creativity. And it is a very valid form. I hate people that are like, oh, it's just closet cosplay. No, it's cosplay.
No.
Cosplay.
The one on the screen right now is completely closet cosplay. The only thing I added to this was hair and makeup.
Yep.
Everything else was pieces that I had that I pieced together, and I specifically put them together for this.
Yeah. Okay, this one, every time I see this, I think it's Power Girl in the thumbnail. It's like, it's not Power Girl. It's not. I know it's not, but it always makes me think of Power Girl.
So this is my Tiffany Valentine. It's when I go to a horror con, she's one of my top two to go to just because she's so fun to do. And people recognize her. She's like in the horror scene, I'm 5 foot tall, so it helps that I'm like very much shorter than everyone else, and I'm cosplaying a doll.
Yeah, you've got the doll size happening.
Yeah, she does contacts with this one. That's a big part of her. She's got those like striking eyes.
You know, Allison said that closet cosplay should be a contest category, and I do an exhibition one. So I look at that, and sometimes we'll even award craft like some awards for people. They're the amount of work they did to be a closet cosplayer. So I might have to make that a separate one from exhibition at some cons coming up. I think
separate would be good because to me, and I don't know why this is, but to me, when I hear the word exhibition as an award, my brain goes, "How in character are they?" Like,
yeah, it is a performance.
Yeah, it's taking in the character and performing them and walking in and being that character. Like it's the play part. Oh, that should be the name of the thing. The play, cosplay, all caps, just for the character, and then separate it with closet cosplay. That'd be fun. I would love to have a ginormous cosplay competition where we have all these individual awards. That would be so good.
We're just going to have to tell Austin we're just going to start getting the trophies for him and he doesn't have to worry. Just let us do it at your cons, sir.
I feel so bad at this last competition because I came in and I was just like, oh, I'm emceeing? Okay. Everyone line up. And I just started like throwing orders. I wasn't running the cosplay competition. Robin was, but my brain was
Robin
just
was
like, I'm emceeing. I'm announcing things, guys.
And Robin loves you for it, I am sure. Robin,
I hope so. I hope she's not. She
said it was actually a really great contest. She said a lot of people showed up and showed out. So, all right,
we had a lot.
Next one.
Oh, okay. So this was actually a Halloween costume. So this was straight. So I cosplay all the time at conventions. So when it comes to Halloween, it's the one time that I'm like, I'm going to Spirit Halloween and I'm buying something off the dang rack. So I bought the Alice in Wonderland cosplay, but to go with it, I wanted to do this trippy, like I did a mushroom blush. So we've got like the freckles across here. I did the black lip, and I don't know if you can see the eyes, but they're actual.
There you go. You sense that one.
And for the eyeshadow, I did like trippy lava lamp blobs. And I was so proud of this stupid makeup. I was like, this is one of the, I need to now make an Alice in Wonderland cosplay. So I'm not having to show up in a Spirit Halloween one, so I can do this makeup again because this was so good.
I still want you to do my makeup for my Queen of Hearts just once.
I want to. And you should free reign. Give me free reign, like artistic expression.
I will give you my whole face to do with what you will.
I would love that.
Maybe the next con we're at together, I'll let you.
Okay. Okay, so this is, if you can tell from my eyes, because they're still brown, this is 100% makeup. And this I did.
Ridiculous how good this is.
This I did for a cosplay article for a magazine. So I just had this idea of doing this black and white sort of vintage makeup, and it was really fun. I had to buy a whole ton of different like white foundation, gray foundation, and all of this stuff, but that was really fun to do.
If you can see this, like when we post it on our social medias, you'll see it clearer that her eyes are making it obvious that this is not a black and white photo. It is all makeup, and it's insane. And I'm not that good at makeup. So, and Allison also said, I feel that I've heard other cosplayers say that Halloween is different. I'm a generic spider witch for Halloween.
Yes.
Halloween is always a big deal. And see, it's always been a big deal for me because it was my dad's birthday, so we've always gone all out.
Aww.
So now that my neighborhood knows I'm the Halloween house, like I think they expect me in full costume. So I've been Merida, I've been Captain Carter. Last year I was my Sith Maleficent. So I'm out here with the horns on, and kids are like,
let me know if you want people to come over. We have Jack to do this year.
Oh, it's on a Friday. We cook out. We also cook out and make chili and grill hamburgers and hot dogs. So people come and just hang out. So
every other year or so we do a Halloween party at our house, but like we're not feeling it this year. Oh, this is my my Cheshire cat. So I had a company
still down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, still down the rabbit hole. I had a company reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, would you review some of our Halloween costumes?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, fine." And of the Halloween costumes, there was this jumpsuit. It was literally just a skin suit of Cheshire Cat. And I was like, "That's cool. I can make it better." So I stitched I don't know if you can see the work on this jacket. This is like patchwork. I made this half coat jacket with all of this fringe on the back. I made this skirt that every single panel of it is put together with zippers. So you can unzip the skirt like anywhere on the skirt and switch things around if you want. I made these like leg foofy things that went with it. I put a whole ton of work into this thing, and it was literally just because the company was like, "Here's a Cheshire Cat bodysuit. What do you want to do with it?" And I was like, "I'm gonna make a whole other giant cosplay with
Challenge accepted. This is another one I've gotten to see up close and personal. Basically, I've seen all of these up close and personal, but this one actually, this one too, and it's pretty, it's intense.
It's back too. It's reversible.
Yeah. Yes, Allison had a question. How do you get these opportunities? Where do you look and apply?
Okay, I probably have a different story than you. Do you want me to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I started out at, ow, I just hit my toe. All right, so I started out at a convention.
There we go.
Just regular performing. I was going in with the theater troupe to do the shadow cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show for one of the local conventions. And I wasn't planning on cosplaying. I was just like, I'll just go and, perform and all that. And literally 2 days before the convention, I went, no, actually, I really need to do a Queen of the Hearts cosplay. And so I don't think I sent you a picture of that when it was my first cosplay ever. I put together with like hula hoops. So I had a hooped skirt and all of this other stuff, a Queen of the Hearts cosplay. And when I got there, a bunch of people were like, "Oh, wow, are you judging?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "But you're judging, right?" And I was like, "No." But everyone assumed I was judging and kept asking me to come judge stuff. I fell out of it for a while. And then I started to build up a social media following on TikTok. And with my past like cosplay, and then I kind of built up a little bit through the years, and then I started cosplaying a little more on TikTok, and then I started to build a following. More people were like, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. You should come judge." I had someone at this last convention walk up to my little, I don't know, was it desk, booth, whatever. And they're like, "If you could give someone advice on how to get into this and how to start doing this, what would you tell them?" And I told them to start online and to start trying to build a following, because even if you are good, even if you are absolutely amazing, as we have discussed earlier in this episode, people are going to judge you off of the number of your fan base. It's ridiculous and it shouldn't be that way, but they will. So if you're really wanting to like jump in, that is the fastest way that I know of to go ahead and start doing those things. Now, you probably have a very different story.
Well, as far as judging, I started that because I was politely asked one year to not compete in a cosplay contest anymore until the quality of the craftsmanship went up. And so they invited me to judge. And so I judged
just
there.
Show them off. Okay.
That was a local convention here. And then through that, I met someone else who was running a different convention that was judging with them. And I was invited to judge at their convention. Mm-hmm. And then at their convention, one of the other judges goes, "Hey, I run this con. Will you come judge at this one?" So I went from a Memphis convention to Huntsville to Chattanooga, all because I was asked not to compete for a little while because they wanted the craftsmanship to go up. Now, as for guesting, the first time I was asked to be a guest was because I was asked to organize and start the cosplay contest. And they said, "Hey, we'll give you a free booth and announce you as a cosplay guest." I'm like, "Great, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but it's really hard because, as I said earlier, I have a lot of people that when they see that my Instagram is like 1,100 followers. That's it in my 23 years of cosplay. I don't make videos like a lot of cosplayers do because my anxiety goes, "You look like an idiot. Don't post that." It's really crazy. But that con had me as a guest for several years, and I started reaching out to conventions, going, "Hey, I see you do cosplay guests. Are you looking for someone new? Here's my resume. Here's some pictures. If you want me, I'd be happy to come." A lot of them are local, so I don't have to ask for like travel expenses. A lot of them give me at least a free table, and then I sell things. So unlike some of the people that go, "Oh, I didn't have a good weekend selling," I'm like, "I had a great weekend because it was all profit, even if it's just a couple of bucks." And then I thankfully have a really good community that, it's Lauren, DL, a bunch of other local people and people in the surrounding area. They're like, "Hey, you want her to come?" And so I start suggesting people. So really build you a community both online and in person, and have those people that will hype you up. I always say everybody needs a hype man.
That.
You need a hype man, no matter what your genre is. Just like I have a brother who's an artist, and now people are putting his name out there, not just to be in an artist alley, but to be an art guest. And so he's got a convention he's going back to in Kentucky in October that asked him to come. And this is his second year because he's starting to do more comic book covers. And it's a little like kind of cryptid horror convention. He said it was really small, but he was like, everybody there was super cool. They paid for my hotel room. They asked me to come up. He's like, "Man, if they want me there and I can be there, I'm going to do it." So, it's a lot of networking.
Yep.
And some of it is who you know. So like we were talking about, you've heard us say the name Austin a couple of times. He's a guy that runs multiple conventions in our area that he is like, "Hey, if you guys want to come, I got space for you." And he's like, "Just tell me what trophies I need to order and you do the cosplay contest. He's like, what do you need?" So, you have to have a lot of that too. So it helps to have people that face to face as well.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Networking is a big part of it. When you are at these conventions, one of the things that we do, like we have our con family. We always go out to eat after at a restaurant. One of the things that we'll do is if we've met someone and they seem really nice, or like, "Hey, we could work together later, and maybe we could be friends. Maybe we could do a contest or a panel later." We invite them out. Like, come join. At the last convention we went out and we had 24 people at our table.
I saw that. I was yes, I was having fun at my nephew's wedding, but I could have been singing karaoke with DL and Lauren and Rob.
Yeah, that was
at his wedding. I love it, but
that was interesting. So yeah, no, we had a table of 24 people, but like network, make friends, talk to people, try and show them how well you can communicate, and you should choose me to come and do those things and work on your communication, because that is a big thing with being out in the public and doing these things, is being able to talk to people.
Yes, and that's the thing, is you have to also be willing to engage in the moment, because this is another thing we talk about with Artist Alley people. It also goes with cosplayers, is that they'll be like, yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot in sales, but you just see them down, drawing, not looking up when somebody walks up to their table, not engaging. And then they see my brother who's over here making sales. Like he sells like $400 or $500 original pieces of art. People are dropping that money.
Nice.
And he and our youngest brother, they sit at that table, and when somebody walks up, Scoot will look up from what he's drawing, go, hey man, what's up? How you doing? Feel free to look through, and Brad keeps the conversation going. So you have to engage people. So you have to, yes, a lot of us are actually naturally introverts, but you put on that costume and you gotta put it out there if you want to be in that sense. Some people don't want to be the center of attention. Some just want to wear their costume, maybe have a few people take their picture and have a good time. Some of us, we thrive on that. We're like fairies. If you don't believe in us, we are going to die. we will crumble if you don't love us. And also with us, like talking about engaging and talking, we've made friends with some of the celebrities that go to cons.
Yeah.
Like I said, Creek Wilson's phone number is in my phone. Creek and I are now besties.
He's going to be at the next convention I'm going to, and I'm really excited.
Like, no, he might not be like the biggest celebrity in the world, but this man was in the Disney's Haunted Mansion movie. He is the Mariner Ghost. He has a freaking animatronic made of him. And we're friends with him.
We're so cool. So cool. All right.
We got a couple more pictures.
Oh gosh, yes.
We went almost 2 hours with DL last
Okay. And I don't have work tomorrow, so we're good.
I don't know.
Okay, so this is the second time I did my makeup for my Medusa cosplay. And that's because the first time my freaking contacts didn't come in time.
Yeah.
And so I was because I wanted that stone eye, like she turns people to stone. I wanted that like stone eye contact. So this is the second time I went, and I was helping run a fairy ball here in Memphis.
Yes. I didn't get to go to that. I was so jealous. But here's the full beauty.
That is the full cosplay. And that cosplay is the bane of my existence. No, it was a very fun cosplay to do. Like, all of the lace work on that dress is all completely hand sewn. All of the chain belts and the bralette that you see are all made by me. There is the giant headpiece, which you would think that little rubber snakes are not that heavy, but when you add that many onto a headpiece, they get really heavy. I ended up having to take wooden dowels, and I had to put zip ties onto a headband and then glue the wooden dowels to the zip ties so they would be sturdy enough, and then glue the snakes onto that, spray painted, and then still it was not. And so I had to go in with like thread and like tie the snakes together at certain points. And then also there is, I don't know if you can see it in here, but there's a gigantic handmade, homemade cloak with this giant collar with snakes all around the collar as well. There was a lot that went into this cosplay. And that dress was, I swear to, I'm going to stand up for like 2 seconds here. That dress slit went down to here, and the leg slits went like up to here.
They almost met.
It was like put together by this much of fabric on each side, and it got to the point to where I ended up buying flesh-colored pants, like pale pants, to put on underneath my fishnets, because that dress would just woo, all over the place. I scared the hell out of the cosplay judges. They were like, ma'am. And I was like, oh, these are pants. And they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, that was probably one of my most complex homemade cosplays, just because all of the little details with the snakes took so long, but it's so pretty.
I didn't judge this one, but I've seen it in person, and it is amazing.
Thank you.
One last makeup picture.
Okay, so that one I was attempting to try and replicate. So this was in the middle of 2020, like COVID quarantine time. And there was a group that was like, hey guys, we're going to do a theme every week so we don't go crazy because we're all sitting in our houses bored, losing our minds. And so they would put out a theme every week. And one of the weeks was like battled pirates or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I have pirate gears because I was part of the pirates for forever. But like, how do I do to where my face looks? Because I'm very into makeup. I love messing with makeup. And so I went and I studied bruise patterns, and I studied like open wounds and how they would look. And I was able to put this together with like eyeshadow and lip gloss.
And you're like, please don't look at my search history.
Yes. Please don't look at my search. I swear to gosh, y'all, this is for a makeup look.
Like cosplayers and authors have the weirdest search histories. To be honest. And you're both. So.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. There's a bunch more out there. Like I just did Sexy Gandalf and Miss Frizz this last weekend.
You know, so if y'all want to see more, all you gotta do is go follow her.
Yeah, do that.
Do that. Boost her numbers. Have more cons want her there. Get her some of that influencer money.
I would like that. That'd be nice. The monies would be great. Monies are hard right now.
Yeah, tell me about it. Nobody pays me for my content, but that's okay. I enjoy doing it.
I only get paid when I sell stuff. Yeah. And so like I only get paid when I find something I really like and review it good. Yeah. Like my bad reviews don't go.
You know, that's the thing is like I love what I do and I'm never gonna stop cosplaying. Like I said, if we literally were talking and not a single person watched today, I would still be happy because we were having fun. But we have people watching.
Like hanging out with you. You should come over here next time and we hang out together.
We need, like I said, we need another con fam hangout. We haven't done that in a little while.
I want to do a con fam hangout. Not really a movie night because I want to talk to people. Like I just want to BS with y'all.
We'll put a movie on in the background.
Yeah, like music in the background. Yeah. Everyone brings some stupid project, crocheting, so we have something to do with our hands, and then we all just hang out.
Yeah. Somebody bring if you paint model figures, come over and bring your figures to paint. You know,
do it.
Because I am one of those people that sometimes when I'm crafting, if I don't have somebody basically body doubling me, I get distracted. I'll literally like sew a seam and then I'll stop and I'll just kind of stare into space for a while and I have to like, I'm working.
I'm the same way.
Because, you know, Hunter came over a little while back. I've been teaching her to sew and she decided to start on stretch pleather, stretch PVC pleather, excuse me. Yeah. And so about 2 stitches in, she goes, I'm going to watch you and learn. But having her there, I literally busted out this bodysuit for her in like a couple hours because I had somebody there with me. Even when we stopped and talked, they kept me accountable. And I kind of need that sometimes. And I haven't made myself a costume in almost a year. So I need to be making myself more accountable because I got like 5 costumes.
Sorry, you just reminded me. I wanted to tell you something. And you just reminded me like with that conversation. Okay, so hear me out. Next time we have a bunch of cosplayers at a convention, like what are we doing most of the time? Other than running the cosplay competition and doing panels. But like seriously, there's usually one day, at least at a convention, that we don't have anything going on. What if all of us got together and we chose one of the cosplayers to be like, okay, you're our model. And we brought our sewing machines and stuff. And we like, during the time of the convention in one day, all got together and tag teamed to cosplay for one of the cosplayers. Like, in the time of being there. It would be so fun.
We could like live stream that and be like, hey, people, the guests are here, the ice cream queens, the cosplay cafe. We're getting down. We're making a costume for somebody. We got V over there with the wigs, and you're throwing on some makeup, and me and DL get the soul machine. We'll put it on Hunter because we'll put it on Hunter because she's like, I'm an engineer. When I say I make costumes, she goes, I make jokes. Like, so that's always her thing.
That's fine. I don't care. We can take turns having the person be the. I don't care, but I think that would be a really fun thing to do at a convention.
That's
like while you're, and you can talk to people about what you're doing, and
you can literally watch the process.
Yes.
Like we could go ahead and have it like patterned out, cut out. So we're just literally sewing, but they could see the actual construction and watch them get their makeup done, how to put the wig on.
Would we really need to have it patterned and cut out beforehand if we have that many people doing it? Like, hey, you cut this out, you cut that out, you cut that out.
Depends on what we're doing. Maybe it depends on what we're making.
Depends on how like schmancy we're making it.
If we're making like a princess gown, we might want to pre-cut that. If I'm doing corsetry, you definitely probably gonna want me to pre-cut that.
So, I've never done a corset. I want to one day.
Oh, I can make a full steel-boned corset with grommets in a couple of hours.
Come hang out with me. Teach me that.
I do still have the fabric that I got to make for you and DL, the reversible underbust corsets that I've got that because they're like the U and the DL. They look like tarot cards, but one is all like black and gray goth, and one is like the colorful goth.
So it's the Death and Desire.
Yes, basically. So
pretty much Death and Desire, yeah.
So So maybe that's we'll pitch that idea to our crew.
That'd be fun. If we do that, you
guys can watch us.
Yes, if we do that though, like I cannot be doing panels in the middle. Like it needs to be like this is the panel, and it is an all-day panel, and don't bug me for anything else.
Yes, somebody else can run if we have things to sell. Somebody can my tables sell better when I'm not at it anyway. I'm not even joking. I walk away, my mom comes back and she goes, I've made you $100. And I'm like, they want my stuff, but they don't want me. Joke, but like Mom and V and Hunter do so many sales for me. I'm like, they're my hype men.
I need to start selling something. I never sell, and I show up and I just exist. And then I run around and I do panels and judge and all of that, but I don't sell it. I make zero money at these things, and I lose so much money just off of travel and food. I really need to start selling something.
It's gotten like, this is a thing, like when you especially when you start going to other conventions, like going back to the question we had, if you're going too far out of town, at least ask them to get you a hotel room. If nothing else.
They won't do it.
Some will, some won't.
I've never once.
Oh, the last time I had one that was going to comp me a hotel room, I had to cancel because it was while my mom was sick.
Oh.
I was like, oh, they were going to even pay for my hotel room.
Yeah, no, I went to a pretty big one, like one of those big old expensive ones, and we ended up having to drive all the way out there and pay $500 to $600 for our own hotel rooms for the weekend. I was like right near Kevin Smith, and I got to like see him for 2 seconds. So that was cool, but also like that's not worth $500 to $600.
No, because you get to go to dinner with him and hang out and become besties.
Yeah. But, it was very expensive to go be a cosplay guest at that convention.
I have a lot of people that I work with that they know what I do. I mean, I don't make any, I don't hide it. They know what I do. And some are like, oh, you probably make a lot of money at that. I'm like, no, I make zero monies. I made money when I used to do commission costume work, but that was also when I was only working about 25 to 30 hours a week and not 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
Plus everything else. So no, do not get into this for the money.
You can get into the online social media stuff for the money. Like I maybe, if I have a good week, might make $100 a week.
Yeah.
And I'm at 350, 60, 300 and something thousand followers on TikTok. And I maybe make like, hang on, stop playing stuff. 352,000 followers on TikTok. I maybe make $100. I made like $60 this last week, and I was like, dang.
You're like, well, that's a couple of tanks of gas, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But, unless you're the, the Yaya Hans, the Jedi Mandas, those people that also, that's their job.
Yeah. That's a whole job.
They are social media. They are cosplayers. Like, I think some of these people have like other jobs, but they're still within the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And they also publish books. They're constantly making content. Don't think that they just put a costume on the weekends, go to a con, get paid, and then go home and make costumes the rest of the week. They are working. So don't think that it is that simple and that everybody can do it. I don't really love the term professional cosplayer, because it's the people that do get paid for that. There's so much more to it than just putting on a costume and being a cosplayer.
Oh no, you have to know how to film. You have to have the personality. You have to edit. You have to. There's a lot to it.
Yes, it is not, like I said, it's not just a weekend gig where, Friday through Sunday they go put on a couple of costumes, host a couple of panels, maybe judge a contest, and go home for another week. That's not it. And these people are traveling constantly on planes, sleeping in hotels. Unless they have like a partner that goes with them that's also lonely. So, yes, they meet a ton of people, but they're traveling alone. So unless they have somebody with them, it's not, cosplay is a lot of fun. I will never stop doing it. And this is not a discouragement, but it is not as glamorous as the outside community thinks it is sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can't even take people with you. Sometimes they're like, oh, they have to pay to get in. And you're like, they're literally carrying my stuff for me and are going to sit at my little booth and help me.
Yeah. Right. You might get one extra pass.
Yeah.
You get like, so yeah, this isn't to discourage you. Continue doing what you do. Everybody have fun with it. Go to your cons, try to get your guest spots at your little cons, enter your contests, do it, have fun, but don't think you have to reach those levels to enjoy those.
They're hard levels to reach. Like, I don't want to discourage anyone, because like, go for your dreams, but
put the work in.
It is a lot of put the work in. It's a lot of work. We did have a topic.
We talked about it. We talked about a lot of these. Let
me talk about a couple negative experiences. Like just some small ones I've had.
We'll talk about those, then we'll get your advice and we'll round out the night. That sound good?
Sure, whatever.
If not, we'll just be here for hours on end and everybody will leave us and it'll just be you and me.
I could talk to you for hours. You're fine.
We're not flirting with each other at all. I'm asexual and she's a married woman.
Right. Definitely no flirting.
Watch it, Joey. I'm coming for your wife.
All right. So with being online, being a cosplayer and having a following and having a social media and all of that, I have learned a few things. If you start to get into this line of work, here is some heads up tips things. When I started out, I really, really, really wanted to be the person who tried to respond as much as I can, but also like having a full-time job and, kids and all of that stuff. Yeah. That's a little difficult. So I respond when I can. That is one of the things I've had to learn. I've been yelled at before, and someone commented on one of my videos once and they're like, I'm unfollowing this person. They never respond to comments. They never respond to anything. And I stitched or responded to their comment and I was like, that's so weird, because here's the video that you commented that on, and here's me replying to someone, and here's me replying to someone, and here's me replying to and I literally just went down the list of me replying to people, and then I kind of went off a little bit and I was like, look, you're not owed my time. you're not owed my attention. If someone has asked me 5 million times, where did you get your glasses from? And I've already answered it 20 times in the chat, then people need to learn to read. Like, you need to look and stop just assuming that you're owed my time. I've literally made an entire playlist to tell people where I get my glasses from. All they have to do is to go to the playlist that's labeled glasses, and it will tell you all of that information. I've made you a playlist. I've answered 20 other people. Like, what more do you want from me? So I've gotten yelled at for not being responsive enough to people. I've also learned in my time of doing this, and like specifically on TikTok, if someone, I have my message is open to where people can send me messages. 99% of those are spam. It's like, hey, you want to come be my sugar baby girl, whatever. And I'm like, so I don't really,
your money.
yeah, I don't really look at them a whole lot because like it's usually just BS. But every once in a while I will look, and someone will send me a video, or they'll send me something personal that happened to them, and they want to tell me about something personal and how my video affected them. And when I first started out, those real people who were sending me videos or trying to tell me stories, I would open the chat back up and respond to them and try and like interact. I've learned since then that once you open that chat back up, they can then forever message you indefinitely all the time, forever. And they think that like once you've responded once, some people, I don't want to say everyone, because some people are fine. Some people I'll respond to, and that's the thing they sent me, and I'm like, awesome, that's so great, thank you so much. And then like that's the end of the conversation, unless it's something relevant. But other people, once that door has been opened, they think that you're their best friend online, and we're now, I know you, and we're friends, and they send you stuff over and over and over, and like it. I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of person to where like if I have the notifications, it bothers me. I like to clear those out unless I have like I don't know. I have a voicemail right now from Walgreens that I'm specifically not touching to remind me to go get medicine from Walgreens. Like, my notifications are specifically something to remind me in my regular life that I need to do this thing. So when someone just has free access to you and they watch your videos, or they've watched a video and they think that they know you, they will send you some really unhinged stuff.
Yeah.
Because they saw a video once of you saying that your kid is into horror movies, and suddenly like they think that you're on a completely other side of the world when it comes to like I've gotten some really weird things, and I'm like, what in the absolute hell did I do to make you think that I would be okay with you sending me this?
And that's where that parasocial thing comes in, is people suddenly, they think because they've seen you online, they know you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this weird, like they've developed a relationship that doesn't exist.
Yeah, because I don't know them.
Yeah. And so it's like they feel, like you said, they feel entitled to your time, your attention, when really you were just being nice and saying, hey, cool, thanks for the comment, whatever, or I'm glad this made you feel that way. And then suddenly y'all are not really besties, but they think you're besties. Yeah.
It's happened a lot more times than one would think, and it's gotten to the point to where now I kind of feel like an asshole. I'm afraid to respond to people sending me stuff anymore, because so many people, once I open that channel, think that it's okay. And money, I don't know why. I told you how many followers I have not too long ago. It's not that many. I told you how much money I make a week. That goes to my family and like savings and food and dinner. Like, that just goes to our general life. I don't know why people think that at the following I have, I make bank or something.
Like you're making $10 per follower. You're not making millions. You're making hundreds.
I mean, like maybe 100 a week. I am maybe making $400 a month. Maybe.
Yeah. That's a pittance.
Yeah, that's not what that goes to my family.
In this day and age, $400 is nothing.
Yeah, no, it literally is like groceries. Gas. So but the moment you open that channel and you try and talk to someone, the amount of people who think that you can give them thousands of dollars for insert whatever terrible thing they have going on, or some charity, or some this or that, and like every time I don't know, I'm like, I can share your post, I can forward it out to more people, but like I
don't have that money.
Yeah, I don't have that money, and people really think that you do. I
wish I had the money to give people like that. I wish I had money to give away and help others. But
I know I do. I wish I could go and just help people, but like I'm barely passing by with my own family. So it's it's really interesting what people like once you open that door for people just to be able to reach out and talk to you. Like I have to close my messages down to where only friends can tag me in stuff online anymore. Because so many people kept tagging me and honestly weird like there was one specific person. I did one crown giveaway for Sweet V, which by the way I'm about to do another one, so if you want to check that out, Sweet V is going to be giving away 2 crowns for their brand new Halloween series coming up tomorrow. But I did a giveaway, one for Sweet V, and some person, apparently they're just like the giveaway person and that is all their TikTok is. So they decided every single giveaway they were going to tag me and message me every single giveaway they came across on TikTok. And my notifications were just going insane. And I had to shut down anyone being able to tag me in anything because this one person was just doing it like, I think at one day ended up being like 50 times in one day.
Ugh.
And I don't even know if you can tag. So I don't know how they did it because I think you're only supposed to be able to tag someone like a certain amount of times a day, but they did. And I don't know, people just expect you to be able to help them with things, to have money to give them, to be your like. I have had, and I'm gonna hit a trigger warning here with unaliving yourself. I've had kids reach out to me to tell me how terrible their life is and they hate their parents and can I be their mom, please? And they don't want to live anymore and just really terrible things. And those instances I do try to reach back out and to talk to them and hey, here's this phone number you can call. There's these services, like there's stuff for this, and it's not me. I'm not that one. But like when you get multiple people at the same time all trying to tell you they don't want to be alive, and like it starts to affect you after like this is not my job.
No.
I don't know how to handle this.
And you're also a person responding to this. You're not a robot. You have feelings, and that's going to affect your mental state.
Yeah, it does. I'm specifically going through that like with a certain individual right now. And I am just doing the best I can because I don't know, like I don't know how to. I'm a person. I'm not like a magical content creator, fairy dust thing. I wish people forget that.
Yeah. They forget that there is a person, a human behind the face and the voice and what they see. They forget that you're an individual. And that's where the the dark side of being on social media comes from.
Well, that and like people put you up on a pedestal. They expect like really exemplary behavior from you. So when you mess up anything, it is so huge. It is so friggin' huge. I don't
Fall
know if
goes
you've
so fast.
Oh, and it explodes. I don't know if you followed any of the like cosplay content creator drama that happens online, but like
I've seen some here and there. I have enough drama and stress in my real life.
well, for example, there is I'm not going to name names. There is a cosplay creator who did an ad for an AI thing because they needed the money and someone offered them a bunch of bank. They had, I believe they had like just moved and they were trying to settle into this new house and they just needed the money. They needed a paycheck real quick. And so they did an ad for this AI thing and I believe they were uncomfortable with it. Like once they posted, like they were uncomfortable, I think before they posted it. So they pulled it down like as soon as they could, or like I think even before they were supposed to legally with the contract. But the amount of backlash that this person got because they needed money and so they did an ad for something that they were kind of already uncomfortable with, but like, hey, you need money to survive. It's a really weird place to be in because everyone held them to this like, you should never, ever do an ad for that. You should never this standard. But at the same time, it's like, hi, they also need to eat. Like it's a weird line to dance. By the way, AI people, when you are a content creator, I don't know how many dang emails I've got, and they offer, like, I have gotten offers and been like, we will pay you $500 for one video, and I'm like, $500 for a video? That would be great. What do you do? And they're like, hi, we represent AI, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, never mind. And it breaks a little bit of your soul to say no to that money. That's the money I need, but also you have the letters AI in your thing, and I know right now that is not great. So, like,
It's a slippery slope.
It is. And it's a very a lot of people feel very strongly about what's going on in the world with AI and how it's going to affect, people who create things, artists, writers, stuff like that. Like there's a lot going on and a lot of opinions with that. And there's a lot of people who feel like both sides, like not just like they hate it, but also other people who are like, this is the future. You need to just kind of get on board with it. And so it's it's almost like a political topic at this point. People get mad.
Yeah.
Sorry if I made you uncomfortable. Let me bring up a very uncomfortable topic that people get
I feel
about.
because I know people that have had their various art forms farmed for AI. So.
My husband's has. Yeah. My husband is an artist and like his stuff has been farmed for AI. So like we have
never strong seen a dime of that.
Nope, not once ever. So we have strong opinions on it. But I mean, what are you going to do at this point?
Yeah, it's really it does divide. I'm like, AI is supposed to be doing the things that help us be able to create our art while it does the mundane. But here it is.
Do my laundry.
Vacuum my house, keep my house clean, feed my cats, let me create my art. But no, you want to create the art while I still do the housework. The Jetsons lied to me with them robots.
Right? I don't know if I would trust a robot with how many cats we have. Like, I feel like a cat would end up not well at some point with a robot in the house.
Yeah. I got 4 of them plus 2 dogs.
4 and 1 dog here, and 2 fish.
Yeah. Well, your dog, like one of mine, is pretty gigantic. Pretty large dog.
She's a big girl.
But, we love big girls. We love big girls. We're at an hour and 40 minutes.
I know. We should probably okay, we've tapered down. I've talked about everything. I'm done.
I'm going to do you get the full screen and you get to give your main piece of advice to cosplayers just starting out.
Okay. My main piece of advice to cosplayers who are just starting out is to try to be creative. Look at things that have been done if you're trying to come up with specific cosplay, and look at the ways it's been done and take inspiration from that and try to maybe think of putting your own twist on it and to coming up with your own individual way or signature of doing something. It's really sorry, my husband's over there and he just distracted me to let the dog in. Anyway, it's really awesome to see someone do a type of cosplay, sewing or crafting or armor, but it's really, really fun to see someone twist some of those things together and to do something a little more complex or original. So my main advice, especially if you're trying to go into competition or anything like that, is to see what's been done before you and add your own little fun bit onto it.
All right. That's actually really cool advice. We love original design. I love a good original design. So, where can all of our followers find you?
You can find me at Geeky Gothic Gamer Girl on TikTok. I do have an Instagram. My Instagram is, I do throw some videos on there, but it's mostly like photos and things like that. I have a Facebook page that I created. So people who kept trying to be friends with me on TikTok and it kept not going right, I made a Facebook page just so people can come and friend me on Facebook so we can try and get to know each other there. So that is Lauren Knight, Knight. I do also have a fan page, Geeky Gothic Gamer Girl, on Facebook as well. And I think I have the other ones. I have Threads and Lemonade and all of those kind of things, but I don't check them as much. So I probably should.
TikTok is definitely your platform.
That's my main one. Yes.
All right. And I'm on most social medias, Media Rice or Media Rice Cosplay, or you can even friend me, Andrea Starnes on Facebook if you want to. If you send me a request, just say you watched the show, because if not, I'm going to be like, who is this? I don't just accept all friend requests. If we have no mutual friends, you can expect me to not accept that request because it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But, and you can find us at a lot of conventions in the Memphis area anytime.
Yes. What's your upcoming convention?
The next one is, I've got a little kind of mini nerdy thing at the Abandoned Antiques shop out here in Millington, Tennessee on October 11th. And then Memphis Comic and Fantasy Con, October 11th. I think I said October. I don't know. October 11th, I'll be at that. November 1st, I'll be at Memphis Comic and Fantasy Con, and then November 8th, I'll be at Corinth Comic Con. So that's the last of my cons for the year.
I'm going to be at Covington at October the 4th, and then I think my next one is Memphis Monster Con, November 8th through the 9th.
Mm-hmm. Because there's 2 cons going on at the same time, and Brian Huff and Jonathan McDaniel are splitting their time between the 2.
MonsterCon, yeah, that's right. They're going to one and then coming to MonsterCon on Sunday.
Because Corinth is their Corinth is their home con. It's the one they both basically started at. So they said, we'll do both. MonsterCon only gets them for one day. So, but that's where you'll find us through the end of the year. And then hopefully from the middle of November on, we all get a little rest. I will be working retail, so I doubt I'll get rest. It's Christmas time. So, but until then, hopefully we'll see you guys at some cons locally. If not, we'll see you online. you'll get to watch our end credits. So, bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. I'm George.
I'm Seth.
And we are the hosts for the Fanatic Forum, the podcast that is all things geek. We talk about anything you could possibly imagine.
We talk books, comic books, video games, wrestling, BattleTech, fan theories, that how they relate to Warhammer and Godzilla fan fiction. We go off on long, bizarre tangents that don't necessarily mean anything. We have theme nights for a very interactive show. Tell them, George.
Extremely interactive. I mean, you've got to check us out live. We are 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you can't catch us live, you can always check us out on Spotify. Be there or be square, baby.